Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Before you dive into this historical footprints, we invite you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Step into the mystical world of ancient Egypt. This captivating journey will unravel the awe-inspiring story of the Divine Trinity: Osiris, the benevolent king; Isis, the epitome of magic; and Horus, the soaring avenger. Prepare to be captivated by a saga of betrayal, profound love, and ultimate triumph. Stay tuned for an unforgettable journey. The legend of Osiris, the god of the living and the dead. In the dawn of existence, when the world was carved from the chaotic waters of none, there rose a figure of such brilliance that the stars themselves seemed to dim in his presence. This was Osiris, the firstborn son of the earth and sky, a king destined to transform the wild, untamed riverbanks of Egypt into a golden paradise of civilization. He did not rule through fear or the edge of a blade, but through the sheer power of wisdom and the gift of order. Imagine a land without laws, where hunger was the only master, until Osiris descended to teach the people the sacred art of agriculture, showing them how to coax life from the black silt of the Nile and turn a desert into a garden. He was the green man, the deity of growth, the one who brought the first seeds of barley and wheat to a starving world. His presence was a symphony of peace, and under his crown the people learned to build, to dream, and to worship. But in the shadows of this golden age, a darker force was gathering, a brother's envy that burned hotter than the Saharan sun. Set, the god of storms and red sands, watched from the fringes of the kingdom, his heart rotting with a jealousy that could not be quenched. To Set, Osiris was a wall that blocked his own path to glory, a light that made his own shadow feel too small. The betrayal he planned was a masterpiece of cold, calculated malice. At a grand celestial banquet, Set unveiled a chest of breathtaking beauty, crafted from rare cedar and inlaid with lapis lazuli and gold, claiming it was a gift for whoever fit perfectly within its frame. One by one the gods lay down, but the chest had been built to the exact measurements of only one man. When Osiris stepped inside, innocent and trusting, the trap snapped shut with the finality of fate. Lead was poured over the lid, sealing the great king in a dark, airtight prison, and with a roar of triumph, Set cast the casket into the rushing currents of the Nile. The river, mourning its master, carried the chest far beyond the borders of Egypt, while the land fell into a terrifying age of chaos. The lush fields withered, the law was broken, and Set's iron fist crushed the spirit of the people. But Osiris was a god whose soul could not be contained by wood or metal. Even as his body was later found and brutally desecrated by Set, torn into 14 pieces and scattered across the corners of the earth, his essence refused to fade. His story is not one of a king who died, but of a king who conquered death itself. Through the devotion of his wife and the power of ancient rites, the fragments of Osiris were gathered, making him the first being to ever be mummified, setting the blueprint for eternity. He transitioned from the king of the living to the supreme lord of the underworld, the judge of souls in the hall of Ma'at. Today, Osiris stands as the ultimate symbol of resurrection and the cyclical nature of life. To the U.S. audience, he is the archetype of the fallen hero who rises stronger, the leader who survives betrayal to become something more than mortal. He sits upon a throne of obsidian, weighing the hearts of every soul that passes through the veil, ensuring that justice is served even in the afterlife. He is the reason the Nile floods, the reason the crops return, and the reason humanity dares to hope for life beyond the grave. His legend is the foundation of Egyptian mystery, a tale of a king who was too great for the earth and became the eternal light of the heavens. From the golden fields of the living to the silent halls of the Duat, the name Osiris echoes as a testament that even when truth is buried, it will eventually rise, more powerful than ever before.
The Queen of Magic, the eternal journey of Isis. While the world trembled under the iron fist of the usurper Set, a flicker of hope remained in the heart of the most powerful woman in the cosmos. Isis, the great mother and the queen of magic, was not a goddess who sat idly on a throne. She was a force of nature, fueled by a love that transcended the boundaries of life and death. When her beloved Osiris was stolen from her and cast into the Nile, her grief did not break her. It forged her into a warrior of the spirit. She shed her royal robes and donned the rags of a wanderer, traveling to the ends of the known world to find the chest that held her husband's soul. Her journey was one of unimaginable sacrifice, a testament to the American ideal of the relentless pursuit of truth and justice. She moved through the marshes of the Delta and the bustling streets of Byblos, her presence a silent storm of determination. Isis was the mistress of the Hekau, the sacred words of power that could command the very elements. She was so wise that she even outwitted the sun god Ra himself, learning his secret name and gaining dominion over the heavens and the earth. But her greatest magic was not found in spells, but in her unwavering resilience. When she finally recovered Osiris, only for Set to tear him into 14 pieces and scatter them across the desert, Isis did not surrender to despair. Instead, she became the first gatherer of the broken, sailing in a boat of papyrus through every hidden canal and scorching dune to reclaim every fragment of her king. Each place she found a piece of him became a sacred site, a pillar of hope for a broken nation. She was the one who invented the rites of mummification, stitching together the fabric of life and imbuing it with the breath of eternity. In the hidden thickets of the Nile, Isis became the ultimate protector, shielding her unborn son, Horus, from the predatory eyes of Set's assassins. She was the mother who defied a tyrant, the sorceress who could heal the sting of a scorpion and the wound of a soul. Her wings, when she unfolded them, were a sanctuary for the oppressed, casting a shadow of protection over all who called upon her name. She represents the divine feminine in its most potent form, intelligent, fierce, nurturing, and unstoppable. To the audience, Isis is the symbol of the light that refuses to go out, the woman who took the scattered pieces of a tragedy and built a legacy that would rule for 3,000 years. She is the whisper in the wind that says, no matter how deep the betrayal, love has the power to resurrect the fallen. As she stood on the shores of the afterlife, Isis ensured that the legacy of the throne would never die. She breathed the spark of life back into Osiris's cold lungs, just long enough to ensure the future of Egypt, proving that magic is simply love in action. Her cult would eventually spread far beyond the borders of Africa, reaching the heart of the Roman Empire and echoing through the centuries as the archetype of the universal mother. She is the Lady of the Stars, the guardian of the mysteries, and the queen who proved that even the gods can be saved by a heart that refuses to give up. The story of Isis is the story of everyone who has ever fought for their family, everyone who has ever rebuilt their life from ashes, and everyone who believes that the impossible is just a challenge waiting to be conquered by a magical will.
The Avenger of the Skies. The Rise of Horus. Out of the emerald mists of the Nile Delta, a shadow began to grow, one that would eventually stretch across the entire sky. This was Horus, the son of the resurrected king and the Golden Queen, a prince born in secrecy and raised with a single burning purpose: to reclaim the stolen throne of his father. While Set ruled with a scepter of terror, Horus was forged in the fires of discipline and fueled by the righteous fury of a displaced heir. He was not just a warrior, he was the hawk of the heavens, whose right eye was the sun and whose left eye was the moon. As he transitioned from a child hidden in the reeds to a commander of divine armies, the very air of Egypt began to hum with the electricity of an inevitable confrontation. For the U.S. audience, Horus is the ultimate underdog story, the young hero who must face his greatest fears and a cosmic tyrant to restore balance to a broken world. The war between Horus and Set was not a single battle, but a legendary struggle that lasted for 80 years, shaking the pillars of the earth and the foundations of the stars. It was a clash between the ordered light of the heavens and the chaotic storms of the desert. In their most brutal encounter, Set tore out the eye of Horus, attempting to blind the vision of justice. But even in his darkest moment of pain, Horus did not falter. Thoth, the god of wisdom, restored the eye, creating the Wadjet, the Eye of Horus, which became the universe's most powerful symbol of healing, protection, and wholeness. This victory taught the world that true strength is not the absence of wounds, but the ability to heal and fight on. Every scar Horus carried became a testament to his resilience and his unbreakable vow to protect the innocent from the jaws of chaos. The final showdown took place on the shimmering waters of the Nile, where Horus, standing tall on his divine barge, hurled his harpoon with the precision of a thunderbolt. With the spirit of Osiris behind him and the magic of Isis protecting him, he finally cast Set into the barren wastes, ending the age of darkness. The gods in the great hall of Maat shouted in triumph as the crown of Upper and Lower Egypt was placed upon the brow of the rightful king. Horus became the bridge between the divine and the mortal, the living pharaoh who ensured that Maat, truth, balance, and harmony would once again govern the land. He is the soaring falcon who sees the world from a higher perspective, reminding us that we must rise above our circumstances to fulfill our destiny. Today, the legacy of Horus lives on in every soul that stands up against injustice. He represents the courage to confront the monsters within and without, and the power of a new generation to heal the wounds of the past. As the sun rises each morning over the pyramids, it is said to be the golden eye of Horus, watching over humanity, ensuring that the light always prevails over the shadows. His story is the final chapter in this epic trilogy of betrayal, love, and ultimate victory, a cycle that began with a king's sacrifice and ended with a hero's ascent. From the depths of the Duat to the highest peaks of the heavens, the name of Horus remains the eternal cry of freedom and the promise that the rightful king will always return to lead his people